Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin shows a fluctuating trend with a recent dip towards the support level of $111,900. The RSI indicates oversold conditions on September 22nd and 23rd, with readings below 45, suggesting a potential bounce. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the upper band, indicating a potential pullback. Considering these factors, I propose a portfolio strategy combining RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. The strategy will involve a long position when the RSI falls below 40 and the price is near the support level, with a stop-loss just below the support at $111,800 and a target price at the nearest resistance level of $117,100. Specifically, I recommend entering a long position at $112,000 on September 25th, coinciding with the forecast price and the oversold RSI. The stop-loss should be set at $111,800 to protect against a further decline, and the target price should be $117,100, aligning with the historical resistance. This strategy aims to capitalize on the anticipated bounce from the support level and the potential for an upward trend. The portfolio will be 60% allocated to this strategy, 20% to a strategy that utilizes the Bollinger Bands, and 20% to a strategy that focuses solely on the RSI. The Bollinger Band strategy will involve entering a long position when the price touches the lower band and exiting when it touches the upper band, while the RSI strategy will involve entering a long position when the RSI is below 20 and exiting when it reaches 80. This diversified approach will help to mitigate risk and maximize potential returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum has been in a downtrend, particularly evident in the recent price action and the declining RSI values. The forecast for the next week suggests a continuation of this downward trend. Considering the RSI, we've observed values consistently below 60, indicating a lack of strong bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been approaching the lower band, reinforcing the bearish outlook. My strategy is to implement a short position when the RSI falls below 39, which occurred on September 24, 2025. Therefore, I recommend a short position with an entry price of $4,150. To manage risk, place a stop-loss order at $4,260, just above the recent high and the upper edge of the Bollinger Bands. For the target price, I suggest $4,010, aligning with the forecast price for October 1, 2025, and providing a reasonable profit margin. This strategy combines technical indicators and forecast data to capitalize on the anticipated downward trend in Ethereum, offering a calculated approach to potential gains while mitigating potential losses through strategic stop-loss placement. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP has shown a fluctuating trend with a recent dip towards the support level of $2.76. The RSI indicates oversold conditions, with values dropping below 50 and nearing 40, suggesting a potential for a rebound. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the lower band, indicating a possible oversold situation and a potential bounce. Therefore, I recommend a long position entry at $2.84. To manage risk, place a stop-loss order at $2.76, just below the established support level. The initial target price will be $3.04, aligning with the recent resistance level. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate a dynamic approach based on RSI and Bollinger Bands. If the price reaches the target of $3.04 and the RSI rises above 60, consider taking partial profits. If the RSI falls below 30, and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, consider adding to the position at $2.84. This combined strategy balances risk and reward, capitalizing on potential rebounds while protecting against downside risk. The final target price will be $3.16. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB exhibits a generally upward trend, with price fluctuations within the $987 to $1,040 range. The RSI consistently moves above 60, indicating bullish momentum, with occasional dips into oversold territory. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the upper band, suggesting a potential for a pullback. Considering these factors, I recommend a combined strategy leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will enter a long position when the RSI dips below 60, anticipating a bounce. Specifically, if the RSI falls below 60, enter a long position at $1,020. Place a stop-loss order at $987, aligning with the established support level. Set a target price at $1,040, the recent resistance level. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, which has been around $800 to $820, it strengthens the RSI oversold signal. In this scenario, enter a long position at $820, with a stop-loss at $794 and a target price at $1,040. This approach aims to capitalize on larger price swings while mitigating risk. The combined strategy prioritizes entries during temporary dips, utilizing both RSI and Bollinger Bands for confirmation, and sets conservative stop-loss and target prices based on established support and resistance levels. This blended approach provides a robust framework for potentially high returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana shows a downtrend with decreasing forecast prices. The RSI indicates oversold conditions, fluctuating between 44.1 and 71.0. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility. Considering these factors, I recommend a contrarian strategy aiming to capitalize on potential rebounds. We will implement a strategy based on the RSI, with an entry price of $212 when the RSI falls below 45. Set a stop-loss at $207 to mitigate potential losses if the downtrend continues. The target price will be $225, aiming to capture a moderate upward correction. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band of $196, it suggests a strong oversold condition, triggering an entry at $205. The stop-loss will be set at $195, and the target price remains at $225. This combined RSI and Bollinger Bands approach offers a balanced risk-reward profile, leveraging both momentum and volatility indicators for enhanced decision-making. This portfolio is the most efficient due to the combination of two indicators. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a downtrend with decreasing momentum. The RSI consistently fluctuates, dipping below 50, indicating a weakening upward trend. The Bollinger Bands are contracting, suggesting reduced volatility and a potential for a price breakout. Given the forecast price decreasing from 0.251 to 0.231, a short position is recommended. I suggest entering a short position at $0.251, with a stop-loss at $0.261 to protect against a potential upward reversal. The initial target price should be $0.231, aligning with the forecast price. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. When the RSI falls below 40, indicating oversold conditions, we will consider covering the short position or setting a tighter stop-loss. If the price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Bands, it signals a potential bounce, prompting a review of the short position and potentially adjusting the stop-loss downwards to $0.24. If the price breaks above the upper band, it suggests a strong upward movement, and we should immediately close the short position. This combined approach offers a balance between capitalizing on the predicted downtrend and mitigating risks associated with market volatility. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON exhibits a sideways trend with fluctuating RSI values between 45 and 58. The support price consistently remains at $0.336, while the resistance fluctuates around $0.351. The Bollinger Bands indicate periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering the current RSI of 46.8 and the forecast price decreasing slightly to $0.339, I recommend a long position strategy. Enter a long position at $0.342, setting a stop-loss at $0.336, just below the established support level. The initial target price should be $0.351, the resistance level, offering a potential profit of $0.009. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band, around $0.322, it signals a potential oversold condition, reinforcing the long position. If the price reaches the upper band, around $0.358, consider taking partial profits and adjusting the stop-loss higher to protect gains. A secondary target price could be set at $0.361, the upper Bollinger Band level, for more aggressive traders. This combined strategy leverages both RSI and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns while mitigating risks. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano exhibits a downtrend, particularly evident in the recent forecast prices, which are consistently decreasing. The RSI consistently dips below 50, indicating weakening momentum. The Bollinger Bands show the price nearing the lower band, further supporting a potential downward movement. Considering these factors, I recommend a short position strategy. We will enter a short position at $0.844. The stop-loss will be set at $0.865, just above the recent resistance level, to protect against a potential reversal. Our initial target price is $0.805, aligning with the forecast price and the lower Bollinger Band. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI reaches 30, indicating an oversold condition, we'll tighten our stop-loss to $0.831. If the price touches $0.805, we'll move our target price to $0.78, capitalizing on the continued downward trend. This layered approach allows us to maximize potential gains while minimizing risk. The combined strategy leverages the downtrend, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands to create a high-probability, high-reward investment opportunity. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chainlink exhibits a downtrend. The price has been consistently below the Bollinger Band center and approaching the support level of $21.5. The RSI has been fluctuating below 60, indicating weakening momentum. Considering the forecast, the price is expected to continue its decline, potentially reaching $21.2. Therefore, I recommend a short selling strategy. Entry price will be $22.6, with a stop-loss set at $25.4, just above the upper Bollinger Band, to limit potential losses if the price unexpectedly reverses. The target price will be $21.2, aligning with the forecast and support level. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. When the RSI dips below 40, indicating an oversold condition, we will initiate a short position at $22.2. Our stop-loss will remain at $25.4, and the target price will be $21.3. If the price reaches the support level of $21.5, we will close the position to secure profits. This combined strategy leverages both Bollinger Bands and RSI for a more robust and adaptive approach, aiming for high returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Wrapped Beacon ETH has been exhibiting a downtrend recently, particularly evident in the sharp decline from $49.50 to $44.80. The forecast for the next week further supports this bearish outlook, predicting a continued descent to $43.40. Considering the RSI consistently below 70, indicating neither overbought nor oversold conditions, and the Bollinger Bands narrowing, suggesting a period of consolidation before a potential breakout, I propose a short selling strategy. The support level at 4,200 provides a strong floor, and the resistance at 4,600 is unlikely to be breached in the immediate future. My recommended strategy is to initiate a short position at 4,520, anticipating the downward trend to continue. A stop-loss order should be placed at 4,580 to protect against a potential short-term reversal. The initial target price is 4,340, aligning with the forecast data. If the price breaks below $43.40, a second target price of 4,200, the established support level, can be considered. This strategy combines technical indicators like RSI and Bollinger Bands with support and resistance levels and future forecasts to maximize potential returns while minimizing risk. The position size should be carefully managed based on individual risk tolerance and capital allocation. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP has shown a fluctuating trend with a recent dip towards the support level of $2.76. The RSI indicates oversold conditions, with values dropping below 50 and nearing 40, suggesting a potential for a rebound. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the lower band, indicating a possible oversold situation and a potential bounce. Therefore, I recommend a long position entry at $2.84. To manage risk, place a stop-loss order at $2.76, just below the established support level. The initial target price will be $3.04, aligning with the recent resistance level. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate a dynamic approach based on RSI and Bollinger Bands. If the price reaches the target of $3.04 and the RSI rises above 60, consider taking partial profits. If the RSI falls below 30, and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, consider adding to the position at $2.84. This combined strategy balances risk and reward, capitalizing on potential rebounds while protecting against downside risk. The final target price will be $3.16. Based on the historical data and forecast, dYdX has shown considerable volatility, with periods of both upward and downward trends. The RSI consistently fluctuates around the 50 mark, indicating a neutral market sentiment. The Bollinger Bands have widened recently, suggesting increased volatility and potential price swings. The forecast for the next week predicts a downward trend, with prices decreasing from $0.635 to $0.575. Given this information, I recommend a short-term contrarian strategy focusing on capitalizing on short-term pullbacks. My recommended strategy is to initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 45, indicating an oversold condition. Specifically, enter a long position at $0.575. Place a stop-loss order slightly below the lower Bollinger Band at $0.56 to limit potential losses. Set a target price at the recent resistance level of $0.629, aiming for a profit of $0.054 per coin. If the price continues to rise beyond $0.629, consider trailing the stop-loss upwards to secure profits. This strategy combines the oversold RSI signal with Bollinger Band support and a recent resistance level to define risk and reward parameters. Based on the historical data and forecast, Curve DAO shows a downtrend. The price has been fluctuating within a range between $0.667 and $0.73. The RSI indicates oversold conditions several times, particularly around September 18 and September 23, with values below 40. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting decreasing volatility and a potential breakout. The forecast for the next week projects a continued downward trend, with prices falling to $0.614. Considering these factors, I propose a short selling strategy with a conservative approach. The entry price for this short position should be $0.715. The stop loss should be set slightly above the upper Bollinger Band at $0.73 to protect against a potential short-term bounce. The initial target price is $0.662, aligning with the forecast and the established support level. If the price reaches $0.662, we can consider moving the stop loss to break even or even slightly below the entry price to secure profits and potentially allow for further gains if the downtrend continues. The portfolio will allocate 60% to this short selling strategy, given the strong bearish signals. This strategy aims for a balance between risk management and capitalizing on the anticipated downward movement. Based on the historical data and forecast, Starknet shows a downtrend with a recent oversold condition. The RSI consistently dipped below 40, reaching a low of 38.3 on September 23, indicating a potential bounce. However, the forecast predicts further decline, with prices dropping to $0.115. Considering these factors, I recommend a contrarian strategy focusing on short-term gains. Our entry price will be $0.116, coinciding with the forecast low on September 26. A stop loss should be placed at $0.115 to limit potential losses if the downtrend continues. The target price will be $0.121, aligning with the forecast price on September 27 and September 28, representing a potential $5 profit per Starknet. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate Bollinger Bands. The price has been consistently near the lower band, suggesting a potential rebound. However, given the overall bearish outlook, we'll maintain a conservative approach. The RSI nearing oversold territory provides a further signal for a short-term bounce. Therefore, the final portfolio combines the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We enter at $0.116, set a stop loss at $0.115, and target $0.121. This strategy balances the potential for a short-term recovery with the risk of continued decline, aiming for a modest but achievable profit. Based on the historical data and forecast, Quant exhibits a downtrend with decreasing momentum. The RSI consistently hovers below 50, indicating a weakening upward trend and approaching oversold conditions. The forecast prices predict a continued decline, further reinforcing this bearish outlook. Considering the support price of $90.8, the Bollinger Bands are narrowing, suggesting a period of consolidation before a potential breakout. We will implement a short selling strategy when the price reaches $94.7. The stop loss will be set at $97 to limit potential losses if the price reverses. The initial target price is $90.4, aiming to capitalize on the anticipated downward movement. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI dips below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we will consider covering the short position and potentially initiating a long position. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, we will also consider a long position. The stop loss for a long position will be $90.3, and the target price will be $94.3. This blended approach combines the momentum of the downtrend with the potential for short-term reversals, optimizing for high returns while managing risk. The portfolio will prioritize short positions with a slightly higher allocation due to the stronger bearish signal. Based on the historical data and forecast, Wormhole shows a volatile trend with recent upward momentum. The price has bounced off the support level of $0.0914 and tested the resistance at $0.12. The RSI fluctuates between 53 and 76, indicating periods of both overbought and oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have widened recently, suggesting increased volatility. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position when the RSI falls below 20, indicating an oversold condition. The entry price will be $0.0996. We will set a stop-loss order at the support level of $0.0914 to limit potential losses. The target price will be set near the resistance level of $0.12, aiming for a potential gain of $0.0204. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate Bollinger Band signals. If the price touches the lower band, it confirms the oversold condition and triggers the entry. The forecast data suggests a price range between $0.101 and $0.108 for the next week, supporting a bullish outlook. Therefore, we will adjust the target price to $0.108, balancing potential gains with risk management. The final portfolio will prioritize the RSI-based entry signal, combined with Bollinger Bands confirmation and support/resistance levels for stop-loss and target price determination. This approach combines technical indicators and price action analysis to maximize potential returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Zcash exhibits an upward trend, supported by consistently increasing forecast prices from $55.2 to $61.9. The RSI values fluctuate but generally remain above 50, indicating bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands show the price moving towards the upper band, further confirming the upward trend. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands for optimal returns. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 40 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, aiming to capitalize on potential price corrections within the overall uptrend. Specifically, let's enter a long position at $55.2. Given the recent volatility and the potential for pullbacks, place a stop-loss order at $53.5, just below the lower Bollinger Band. For the target price, we'll aim for $60.5, aligning with the forecast price and the upper Bollinger Band. This strategy allows us to benefit from the predicted upward trend while mitigating risk with a well-defined stop-loss. The potential profit is substantial, and the risk is well managed, making this a high-return investment opportunity. Based on the historical data and forecast, Immutable exhibits a volatile trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The recent RSI values fluctuating around 60 indicate a neutral to slightly bullish momentum. Considering the forecast prices consistently around 0.77 to 0.738, a moderately bullish outlook is anticipated. We will implement a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Band signals to maximize potential returns. The entry price will be $0.722, coinciding with a dip towards the lower Bollinger Band and an RSI below 80. A stop loss will be placed at $0.682, just below the established support level, to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.833, aligning with the recent resistance level, offering a substantial profit margin. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate a trailing stop-loss mechanism. As the price moves above $0.77, the stop-loss will be adjusted to $0.729, securing profits while allowing for further upside potential. If the price reaches $0.833, we will partially take profits and move the stop-loss to the entry price of $0.722. The remaining position will have a final target price of $0.856, capitalizing on potential breakouts beyond the resistance. This multi-stage approach balances risk and reward, adapting to the evolving market conditions and maximizing returns for Immutable. Based on the historical data and forecast, EIGEN Eigenlayer shows a generally upward trend, with fluctuations around the support price of $1.66 and resistance price of $1.84. The RSI fluctuates between 54.6 and 69.5, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands show periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering these factors, I recommend a combined strategy leveraging RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. First, we'll employ an RSI-based strategy. When the RSI falls below 20, it signals an oversold condition, suggesting a potential buying opportunity. However, given the recent upward trend, I propose a more conservative approach. We will initiate a long position at $1.78 when the RSI is below 60. Place a stop-loss order at $1.66, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. Set a target price at $1.85, aligning with the forecast and the resistance level. Secondly, utilize the Bollinger Bands to confirm the RSI signal. If the price touches the lower band while the RSI is below 60, it strengthens the buy signal. Finally, the portfolio will prioritize the RSI strategy, with Bollinger Bands and support/resistance acting as confirmation and risk management tools. This blended approach aims to capitalize on the upward trend while mitigating risk through strategic stop-loss placement. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ether.fi shows a clear upward trend. The price has been fluctuating within a defined range between 1.38 and 1.79, but the recent momentum suggests a move towards the upper end of this range. The RSI consistently above 60 indicates strengthening buying pressure, and the forecast predicts continued price increases. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $1.62, placing a stop-loss order at $1.45 to mitigate potential losses if the trend reverses. The initial target price will be $1.72, aiming to capture a significant portion of the projected upward movement. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price consistently trading near the upper band suggests a strong bullish momentum. If the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, which is currently at $1.73, we will raise the target price to $1.8. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, we will exit the position. This combined RSI and Bollinger Band strategy offers a balanced approach, capitalizing on the prevailing upward trend while incorporating risk management measures for optimal returns.